Hey there, tech enthusiasts! Today, we're diving headfirst into the fascinating and sometimes scary world of Wi-Fi hacking. We're talking about the kind of stuff you see in movies, shadowy figures hunched over glowing screens, frantically typing code to crack into top-secret systems. Okay, maybe it's not always that dramatic in real life, but trust me, Wi-Fi hacking is a real thing, and it's more relevant now than ever before. With billions of devices connecting to the internet wirelessly every day, our Wi-Fi networks have become prime targets for hackers. Whether you're a tech newbie or a seasoned pro, understanding the basics of Wi-Fi hacking is crucial for protecting your privacy and security online. So buckle up, grab your favorite energy drink, and let's get started. Remember, knowledge is power. By the end of this essay, you'll be well equipped to navigate the world of Wi-Fi security like a pro. In the simplest terms, Wi-Fi hacking is like picking the lock on your digital front door. It's about gaining unauthorized access to a Wi-Fi network, usually with less than noble intentions. Imagine someone sitting in a parked car outside your house, secretly using your Wi-Fi to download illegal movies, or even worse, steal your personal information. That's a classic example of Wi-Fi hacking in action. Now, before you start picturing yourself as the next Neo from the Matrix, it's important to understand that not all Wi-Fi hacking is created equal. There's a difference between ethical hacking, also known as white hat hacking, and malicious hacking, or black hat hacking. Ethical hackers use their skills to test and improve security systems, making the digital world a safer place for everyone. Malicious hackers, on the other hand, are the bad guys. They're in it for personal gain, often at the expense of others. In this essay, we'll be focusing on the ethical side of Wi-Fi hacking, teaching you how to think like a security pro and protect your own network from potential threats. Like any specialized field, Wi-Fi hacking comes with its own set of confusing acronyms and technical terms. But don't worry, we're going to break down some of the most common ones so you can sound like a tech wizard at your next LAN party. First up, we have WEP, which stands for Wired Equivalent Privacy. Sounds pretty secure, right? Well, not so much. WEP is an older security protocol that's about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. It's relatively easy to crack, and hackers can make short work of it with the right tools. Next, we have WPA2, Wi-Fi Protected Access 2, the current gold standard for Wi-Fi security. WPA2 is much more robust than WEP, using stronger encryption methods to protect your data. While it's not completely unbreakable, it's a lot tougher for hackers to crack. You'll also hear about things like WPS, Wi-Fi Protected Setup, a convenient but often flawed feature that can be exploited by hackers. And then there's packet sniffing, brute force attacks, and a whole host of other techniques that make Wi-Fi hacking both fascinating and terrifying. Don't worry if all of this sounds overwhelming right now. The important thing is to be aware of these terms and understand the basics of how they relate to Wi-Fi security. All right, time to get our hands dirty. In this section, we're going to walk through a simple Wi-Fi hacking demonstration using readily available tools. But before we proceed, I want to be crystal clear. This information is for educational purposes only. Attempting to hack into a Wi-Fi network without permission is illegal and could land you in serious trouble. Don't be that guy. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a special operating system designed for penetration testing and security auditing. It comes preloaded with a suite of tools that can be used for ethical hacking, including Wi-Fi analysis and exploitation. One such tool is aircrack-ng, a popular and powerful suite of tools for assessing Wi-Fi network security. Aircrack-ng can be used to capture data packets transmitted over a Wi-Fi network, which can then be analyzed to potentially crack the network's password. Remember, the goal here is not to encourage illegal activity, but to provide a glimpse into the tools and techniques that ethical hackers use to identify and fix security vulnerabilities. Section 5, the legal and ethical minefield of Wi-Fi hacking. Now that you have a basic understanding of how Wi-Fi hacking works, let's talk about the ethical and legal implications. As Spider-Man's Uncle Ben famously said, "With great power comes great responsibility." The same principle applies to hacking. Just because you have the skills and tools to hack into a Wi-Fi network doesn't mean you should. Unauthorized access to computer systems is a serious offense in most countries, and the consequences can be severe. Think hefty fines, jail time, and a permanent stain on your digital record. Not exactly the kind of street cred you want, right? Ethical hackers always operate within the bounds of the law and with the explicit permission of the network owner. They use their skills to identify vulnerabilities and help organizations improve their security posture. Remember, the line between ethical and unethical hacking can be thin. Always err on the side of caution and make sure you have proper authorization before attempting any kind of security testing. Section 6. Don't be that guy. The consequences of illegal hacking. Let's be real for a moment. You might be tempted to use your newfound knowledge for some harmless pranks or to impress your friends, but trust me, it's not worth the risk. The consequences of illegal hacking can be life-altering. We're talking about criminal charges. Unauthorized access to computer systems is a crime, plain and simple. You could face fines, probation, or even jail time. Financial ruin. Victims of hacking can sue for damages, and the costs can be staggering. Imagine having to pay for someone's legal fees, identity theft protection, and lost wages. Reputational damage. A hacking conviction can follow you for life, making it difficult to get a job, rent an apartment, or even open a bank account. But it's not just about the legal consequences. Illegal hacking is unethical and harmful. You could be stealing someone's personal information, disrupting their business, or even putting their lives at risk. So before you do something you might regret, remember the potential consequences. It's simply not worth it. Section 7. Real-world examples of Wi-Fi hacking gone wrong. Still not convinced that illegal hacking is a bad idea? Let's look at some real-world examples of Wi-Fi hacking gone wrong, where individuals faced serious consequences for their actions. The case of the Hacker Hotel. In 2010, a group of security researchers hacked into the Wi-Fi network of a luxury hotel, gaining access to sensitive guest information, including credit card details and passport numbers. While the researchers reported the vulnerability responsibly, the hotel faced significant reputational damage and financial losses. Asterisk. The Stuxnet worm. While not strictly a Wi-Fi hack, the Stuxnet worm, discovered in 2010, is a prime example of how cyber attacks can have real-world consequences. This sophisticated malware, believed to be developed by the United States and Israel, targeted Iranian nuclear facilities, causing significant damage to centrifuges used for uranium enrichment. Asterisk. The Mirai botnet. In 2016, the Mirai botnet, a network of compromised Internet of Things devices, launched a massive distributed denial of service attack that crippled major websites and internet services across the United States. The attackers exploited weak security protocols in IoT devices, including routers and webcams, to hijack them and use them as weapons in their attack. These examples highlight the very real dangers of Wi-Fi hacking and the potential for catastrophic consequences when security is compromised. Section 8. Level up your security tips for a Fort Knox Wi-Fi network. Okay, enough with the scary stories. Let's shift gears and talk about how you can protect yourself from becoming a victim of Wi-Fi hacking. Think of it as fortifying your digital castle against invaders. First and foremost, make sure your router is using WPA2 or WPA3 encryption. Remember, WEP is about as effective as a chocolate teapot in a heat wave. Change your default router password. Seriously, those default passwords are like open invitations for hackers. Next, enable your router's firewall. A firewall acts like a digital bouncer, blocking unauthorized access to your network. Keep your router's firmware up to date. Firmware updates often include security patches that fix known vulnerabilities. Consider using a virtual private network. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic, making it much harder for hackers to intercept your data. By following these simple tips, you can significantly reduce your risk of becoming a victim of Wi-Fi hacking. Section 9. Wrapping up. Stay safe, stay ethical, stay curious. So, there you have it. A crash course in the wild and wacky world of Wi-Fi hacking. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the technical aspects of how hacking works to the ethical and legal implications of using these skills responsibly. Remember, knowledge is power, but it's important to use that power wisely. Wi-Fi hacking can be a valuable tool for security professionals, but it can also be used for malicious purposes. If you're interested in learning more about ethical hacking and cybersecurity, there are tons of resources available online and in libraries. Just remember to always stay within the bounds of the law and obtain proper authorization before attempting any kind of security testing. Stay safe, stay ethical, and most importantly, stay curious.